Greetings and welcome back. It's your host, Gabe Morales. The history of prisons and corrections in the state of Nevada is an interesting one. In 1862, the first prison in Nevada was created by the territorial legislature, which leased the property of the Warm Springs Hotel just east of Carson City for use as a prison. This property was owned by Abraham Curry, who operated the hotel at that site, and Curry became the first warden of the prison. A quarry on the side of the prison was used to take out stone for use at the state capitol and other public buildings. It also provided work for many convicts in the early years who toiled in the hot Nevada sun. In 1864, the territorial legislature purchased the prison from Curry and an additional 20 acres for $80,000. Nevada became a state in October of that year, and the new constitution provided that the lieutenant governor of the state also serve as the warden of the prison. In May of 1870, a substantial portion of the prison burned, and construction of new facilities began immediately, using the same native stone and inmate labor. Portions of that early construction are still visible today on tours of the old penitentiary. This facility remained the only state prison in Nevada for many decades. While John Franklin Frank Denver was warden of the state prison in Carson City, there was a major prison break involving 27 inmates on September 17, 1871, and Denver was seriously wounded in the melee. Nevada citizens were very unhappy with the circumstances surrounding the escape and demanded that something be done about prison operations. At the recommendation of Governor Lewis Bradley, the 1873 state legislature passed a new law creating the position of a warden, which required professional law enforcement qualifications. In 1872, the portion of the Nevada Constitution naming the lieutenant governor as the prison warden was appealed. Wardens would now be appointed by the governor, but Lieutenant Governor Denver refused to hand over the facility and refused to allow the elected governor or any members of the prison board to enter into the prison. Finally, Governor Lewis Bradley called out the militia on March 1873, and after being confronted by 60 soldiers and a small artillery battalion, Denver surrendered the prison back to the state. Many people are aware that inmates all over the U.S. often engage in illegal gambling and other vices. After Nevada Governor Fred Balzar signed Assembly Bill 98 into law and legalized gambling in the state, Nevada State Prison did the unthinkable and opened up a casino for convicts. This area was named the Bullpen, and the casino was a success for 3 decades before it eventually shut down. The casino first operated in a windowless, solid rock room carved from natural sandstone surrounding the prison before it was moved into a larger sandstone building with walls sometime in the 1930s. During its 30-year operation, the casino offered traditional games such as blackjack, craps, and poker, and inmates ran the entire casino. They even had their own currency in denominations of 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, and $5, which were used only at the casino. The bullpen's closure came after Nevada Governor Paul Laxalt hired Carl Hooker as the prison's warden. Hooker then soon ordered the casino to be shut down and for gambling to be replaced with more wholesome activities, such as volleyball, ping pong, and painting. As you can imagine, this did not go over well with the convicts. The bullpen officially closed in April 1967, and the sandstone building that housed the casino was knocked down. On August 5, 1970, I understand that Warden Hooker personally fired 3 tear gas shells into a recreation room at the pen to put down an uprising by 16 black convicts that earlier had beaten up 3 white inmates. Warden Hooker stated that he believed the attack was in retaliation for the stabbing of a black prisoner by a white convict earlier. The 16 were placed into handcuffs and taken to solitary confinement, aka the Hole. The high-security prison housed 219 inmates in September of 2011, but had been initially designed to hold 841 inmates. The state of Nevada chose to close the prison for budgetary reasons, and it finally closed its doors on May 18, 2012, with all other inmates being transferred to other institutions or being released. Over the years, there have been several movies shot on the grounds of the old prison. An Innocent Man, starring Tom Selleck, was filmed in part at the old Nevada State Penitentiary, and it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, But as I recall, the story was supposed to be about an innocent man who was incarcerated at Old Folsom in California. But the old stone walls of the Nevada State Pen closely resembled the old granite stone walls at Old Folsom. 2025, a movie called The Real Ones was filmed there, and the prison has been the subject of several documentaries. I interviewed my friend and retired Nevada Corrections Officer Mike Berrigan, who once worked there, in a previous video.
And so then when you went to Carson City, I understand you were employed with the Department of Corrections. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, it was actually Department of Prisons at the time. And I was at the Nevada State Prison for about 4.5 years. Mm-hmm. And was there during the Rodney King uprising in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting times. Saw a lot of stuff come in and out of that prison. It was considered a close custody medium. That's I got there right around the time they had opened Ely, which is mm-hmm. now the state maximum security.
Right.
But at the Nevada State Prison, we actually had the gas chamber, and it was converted to lethal injection, I think. But we were right there. We had the death chamber there. Mm-hmm. It was,
and I'm sure they utilized it there in Nevada. Then back then, they didn't mess around there in Nevada. I heard that Nevada State Prison there in Carson City. I've heard from people that it's haunted. Did you have any weird experiences while you're working there?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's been a few different incidents. I remember working on one post, which is basically up at the lower yard, and it was a gun post up on top of the perimeter, or up on top of the wall. And that area was just, there was always movement going on up on top there. And I was actually just kind of doing my rounds, walking, checking everything out, and found an old relic from who knows when. And it was some buttons off of a uniform jacket. And it was pretty crazy. But I did work in the cell house, which was the main building at one time. And that's where the death chamber is. Mm-hmm. And while I was working there one night, actually more than one night, but I'm guessing between 2 and 3 in the morning, I can hear like somebody trying to rattle the lock on the door on the main corridor.
Oh no! I'd have been out of there.
It was the stairwell that went directly from my office up to the last night's cell, and I can hear the the Folger Atom lock wiggling like somebody was trying to open it. Nobody's up there. I was the only one up in that area at the time. And that
man, brother, I would have freaked out.
got my attention, that's for sure.
I bet. Man, oh man.
There are presently 7 major institutions in Nevada DOC. LE State Prison is currently a medium security penitentiary and opened up in July 1989. Nevada DOC Death Row was housed there, but since September 2024, it is now located at High Desert State Prison. High Desert State Prison is not to be confused with the prison of the same name, located in Northern California, operated by the California Department of Corrections. It is a maximum security facility located in unincorporated Clark County, just northwest of Las Vegas, the largest institution of the Nevada Department of Corrections, and is also the newest, having opened in September of 2000. Prison contains 12 housing units designed to house 336 inmates each. Each of the units 1 through 8 are separated into 4 separate sections called pods. Each set of 2 pods shares a common control center known as the Bubble. O.J. Simpson, former NFL Buffalo Bills running back and TV celebrity, was briefly held at High Desert State Prison following his conviction in December 2008. He was then transferred to the Lovelock Correctional Center in Pershing County, Nevada, before being released in 2017. Lovelock Correctional Center is a minimum to close security facility. The Northern Nevada Correctional Center, Stewart Conservation Camp, and the Saddle Horse and Burro Training Program are all part of a prison complex located in Carson City. This correctional center was established in 1964. On November 7, 1982, singer and entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. and comedian Tom Dreesen performed at the gymnasium of the Northern Nevada Correctional Center and performed a big show for inmates. The Harris Casino in Reno even provided an orchestra to help support the event. In 1987, the National Guard was called into the facility when orders were given to racially integrate it. Troops were positioned throughout the prison yard with armed guards on top of the housing units, and the guard worked along regular staff as inmates were given new bed assignments and were ordered to integrate per a court decision. It was believed that the inmates would not accept these changes, and rumors were rampant that there would be riots and violence against both staff and among the different races. But the actual outcome was that there were very few incidents. The Southern Desert Correctional Facility is located in unincorporated Clark County and has a capacity of just over 2,000 inmates, most of whom are medium security. This facility should not be confused with the Southern Nevada Correctional Center, which was a facility that closed in 2008, or the Nevada Southern Detention Center, private prison that I believe is currently run by Core Civic, under contract with the United States Marshal Service. The Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center is a state prison located in North Las Vegas and has minimum, medium, and maximum custody levels, and has a current capacity of 888. On May 14, 1913, Adrisa Merkovich became the first and only inmate in Nevada to be executed by shooting. After Warden George Cowing was unable to find 5 men for a firing squad, a shooting machine was built to carry out the execution. But once the device arrived at the facility, Cowing stated that he no longer wanted to be part of it and abruptly resigned. Former Governor Denver Dickerson, who had worked to reform the state prison system, was then appointed the new warden. Dickerson supervised the first executions by shooting and lethal gas at the facility. In 1921, a bill authorizing the use of lethal gas had passed in the Nevada state legislature. Condemned murderer Ji Zhong of the Hip Sing Tong Chinese triad became the first person to be executed by this method in the United States. Warden Dickerson sent his assistant from Carson City to Los Angeles to personally pick up 20 pounds of lethal gas at a cost of $700. 4 guards did not want to participate in that execution process and resigned from their jobs. Prison officials first attempted to pump poison gas directly into G's cell while he was sleeping, but did not have success because the gas leaked from the cell. A makeshift gas chamber was set up at the prison's butcher shop, and G was strapped into a chair of a makeshift chamber, which was 11 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8 feet tall. A small window next to a wooden chair that was visible allowed witnesses to look inside. Morning of February 8, 1924, a pump sprayed 4 pounds of hydrocyanic acid into the chamber, but because the electric heater failed, the chamber was only 52 degrees Fahrenheit instead of the ideal 75 degrees, causing some of the acid to form in a puddle on the floor. G's head appeared to nod up and down for approximately 6 minutes before he finally succumbed to the gas. Warden Dickerson reported to the Nevada Governor, James Scruggham, and the legislature that it was his opinion that the use of lethal gas was impractical, and he thought execution by firing squad was the best method. Dickerson remained warden of the prison until his death in November 1925. On October 22, 1979, convicted murderer Jesse Bishop became the first person to be executed at the prison after the state legislature reinstated the death penalty following the lifting of a national moratorium on capital punishment. Bishop was also the last prisoner to be executed by lethal gas by the state of Nevada. December 6, 1985, serial killer Carol Cole became the first inmate to be executed in Nevada by lethal injection, and executions continued to be carried out in the gas chamber, but on a gurney designed for lethal injection. And so, I'm going to have to end right there, but I'll be back soon for part 2 on the Nevada Department of Corrections. For now, this is Gabe Morales signing off for Gangsters, Cops, and Politicians.